Children, we have covered the topic what do animals eat. So we'll recall what are the topics that we have covered in this lesson. That is classification of animals. How are the animals classified into based on their food habits. Next, we have known about their food habits, how they hunt the food. Some animals hunt and some animals they do not hunt their food and simply they depend on plant foods and other food items that they get in their surroundings, and what are the different habits that they follow in taking their food, how they track their food. These are all the topics that we have covered in this lesson. And also we have seen different birds, the different types of beaks they have to take their food, how they differ. Why do they differ in their structure or in the type of the beak they have. So everything we have covered in this lesson now. And also we have covered about the food chain, food web, and also the animal colonies. So one by one we'll again recall the topic and then go to the short answer questions that can be probably asked in this lesson. Okay children, about the classification of the animals. When you come to the classification of the animals, there are herbivores, carnivores, and omnivores. Herbivores are the animals which depend on only plants and the plant products for their food, and carnivores are the animals in which they depend on animal foods, that is, they depend on only animals for their food. And omnivores are the animals which depend on both plants and animals for their food. You also know the examples which depend on only plants, both plants and animals, and only animals for their food, isn't it? And you can see that there are some animals which live only in the forest, but they do not eat the flesh of other animals also. And some animals the carnivores live only in the forest because they will be killed if they are in the human habitation, or otherwise they do not get the food, that is if they will be kept in the zoos, or they may be killed by the human beings, so they are fried off and they may be living and they have the optimum food, and the habitat suits to them to be in the forest itself, and they get the food, shelter, everything in the forest, so they live in the forest itself. So some of the things that we have learned in this lesson has been covered in the classification of the animals. Next, coming to the finding and tracking of the food, and some of the animals use their senses like the smell, sight, hearing, taste, touch, that is the feeling. So these are all the senses that different animals use in tracking down their food, and in the different ways that the animals use in finding the food are: some animals suck the blood of other animals like leeches, and butterflies suck the nectar from the flowers, leech suck the blood from the buffaloes and all. And also we've seen about the rumination process. Some animals like herbivores of cow, buffalo, goat, sheep, they graze on the grass fields, and they pick up the grass through their teeth, that is through the incisors, and they grind with their molar and premolar teeth, isn't it? And again that happens only after bringing back the grass from its stomach. That is bringing the process of bringing back of food from the stomach again after eating is called as rumination process, which is being carried out by the ruminating animals such as cow, buffalo, goat, sheep, camel, etc. So these are the ruminating animals that we have learnt. And some animals hunt the other animals, like the carnivorous animals with their canine teeth. They use their canine teeth and claws and to tear the flesh of the other animals, and they tear the flesh of the other animals with their claws and the canine teeth and take their food in such a manner. So the different mannerism of the different animals depends upon the food they take it. And the squirrels, if you see, they are the herbivores. They depend on only fruits or the nuts. With their incisor teeth, they nibble. The process of the taking the food by the squirrels or the rabbits is nibbling process, I told you before. So the different processes like picking, like birds which pick the insects or grains from the ground, it's the picking process. Ruminating process by the ruminating animals such as cow, buffalo, goat, and sheep, etc. And the camel also, we can say that it is a ruminating animal. And next, coming to the swallowing process, in which the whales and the snakes swallow the food completely. So they they are the carnivores which take the food incompletely. So they are the carnivorous animals. The next swallowing is the process, ruminating process, picking process, nibbling process, hunting process or tearing process. So these are the different process. And sniffing is one of the process in which the dogs use. They smell the food with their nose. So we can say that the sniffing is one of the process which many of the cats, dogs and some other animals also use to find their food. So this is about the different sense organs that the different animals use in taking their food. And birds have different beaks to suit their food habits. Like parrot eats nuts and fruits since it has the hooked beak, and the type of beak suits it to take such type of food material. And also we can say that the honeybee has long pointed beak to suck the nectar from the flowers. And also about the food chain. What is food chain? Food chain is the link between the plants and animals for the sake of food. Food chain explains the interdependence of plants and animals, how one animal depend upon other animal for its food, or on plants or other animals for its food. This link for food between the plants and animals is called as the food chain. It carries out in the form of the chain, so it is called as food chain. Always the food chain starts from the producers and ends in the carnivores. So producers are eaten up by the herbivores. Herbivores are eaten up by the secondary consumers, and the secondary consumers are taken up by the tertiary consumers, which are called as the carnivores. So always the food chain starts from the producers and ends in the carnivores. Next, animal colonies. Some of the animals form colonies in taking their food, like ants and elephants, zebras, etc. These are the animals which take the food in groups. They move in the forest in the groups and find their food. They also work together, like ants. If you see, there are worker ants, queen ants, and also the male and female, which help for the reproduction process, and also they work in the groups to find their food. So we can say that there are different processes in which the different animals find to take their food. This is the complete theme of this what do animals eat lesson. Now we'll go or the move to the short answer questions, children. So note it down, what are the different questions that can be given in this lesson. Now see the questions, children, how they are asked, and how you should write the answers. See here, children. Name some animals in your house which have the same kind of food habit. So the answer is the animals which in your house, means they are called as pets. The animals which are reared in the house are called as pets, isn't it, children? So now we'll write the answer as the animals of the name of the animals used as pets and their food habits. So the similar types of the animals which have the same type of food habits we are writing here. So cat, dog, they eat milk, bread, rice, curd, bones, flesh, etc. Cows, buffaloes, goat, sheep, they eat grass, grains, hay, etc. Sparrow, hen, turkey, they eat grains, insects and worms. Parrot, rabbits eat nuts and fruits. Hope you have understood this question, children, and answer. So you can write down in your notes now. Now the next question, see here, children. I'll read. Observe your surroundings or go to a nearby field and write about the following. So how does the cow eat grass? That you have to know. So how does it eat the grass? It eats grass by the process of rumination. It eats its mouth, uses its mouth parts like teeth and tongue. How does it take the food? Everything is given here. Cow chew food very quickly and swallow and store it in a part of its stomach. After some time, it takes food material back from the stomach to the mouth and chew it again. This process is called rumination. Children, note down this question now and try to read it and learn once again. Now see, children, in this question, that is this same second question, you have other two questions also. What are the tools that the cow uses in taking its food? I already told you about the cow. It uses its mouth parts like teeth and tongue for taking its food in the process of rumination. See here, cow uses its mouth parts, teeth and tongue in the process of rumination. That is in the process of taking in food. The process of taking in food by the cow is called rumination process, and the body parts it's used for taking in food are teeth and tongue. Next, coming to the, in what way can you justify it as a herbivore? How can you justify the cow as a herbivore? We can see it as a herbivore because the animals which depend on only plants and plant products for their food are called as herbivore. As cow depends on only plants and plant products for their food, it is called as a herbivore, or we can justify it as a herbivore. See here the same points I have written here. Read out clearly, ma. Animals which depend on only plants for food are called herbivores. Cow eats only grass and plant products as food. So we can justify cow as a herbivore. Next question, children. See here. Compare the legs and nails of dog and hen and say why they are different. You can see that both hen and dog are omnivores. That both depend on plant products and as well as the animal, that is the hen is insects and also the grains, as well as the dog also take the plant products like grains and also the flesh of other animals. Then what is the difference between them? So this is dog is an animal omnivore, hen is also an animal, that is a bird, but the difference is that dog has 4 legs whereas hen has 2 legs and also wings, but dog do not have the wings. The legs, here they asked a comparison between the legs and nails. So we are writing about the legs and nails of dog and legs and nails of the hen and writing the answers by comparing these two only. Dog has 4 legs, hen has 2 legs. The legs of dog are long and thin when compared to hen. The legs of hen are small and stout. So we can write this as a stout compared to dog. Compared to dog. Yes, dog has paws. Dog has paws. Hen has claws. Nails of dog are short, sharp and pointed. Nails of hen are long, sharp and pointed. Dog paws the ground impatiently to take rest. Hen scratches the ground and searches the food with its claws. That means here the dog has paws. So with its paws, what does it do? It scratches the ground. You know it. It scratches the ground to take the rest, but not to search for the food. But normally the hen scratches the ground in search of the food. So that is the main difference between the legs and nails of dog and hen. Hope you have understood about this, children. We'll move to the next question. Write properly in your classwork book. Okay, ma? Write down. See here, children, in the previous question, the body structure of hen and dog differs to suit their food habits. So the next question is here, children, about the animals which use the tongue in taking their food. Dog, cat, frog, lizard, chameleon and other animals are also there which uses the tongue for taking their food. So this tongue is used by these animals in different manner. So dog and cat uses the tongue to lick the liquid food, whereas the chameleons, lizards and frogs capture the insects or the food that they eat with the tongue. Okay, children, so that is the answer for this question. Again, you read out, name some animals which use tongue as a tool for taking in food. Dog, cat, frog, lizard, chameleon, etc. are the animals which use tongue as a tool for taking in food. Dog and cat uses the tongue to lick the liquid foods, whereas the lizards, frog, chameleon captures the insects and swallows with it. Okay, children? So, with this, we'll end today's question answers, and with tomorrow again I'll continue the question answers. Thank you, children. All the best. Write all the question answers that I have given you in your classwork neatly and read them well. Thank you very much, children.